Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Saturday night at 9:30. This is going to be a happy section of the video. I'm going to start the video tonight and probably finish it tomorrow and post it. This is the second consecutive day of pretty decent sales. I'm not going to ignore the fact that I know a lot of people are struggling. I want to celebrate the fact that long tail items are still being seen. They still are being sold. I'm up to like 130 plus. I did sell those two items today, that IKEA shelf and that one print that I showed off the other day. Those did go out the door today locally for $45 all in on those two separate sales. Still got a couple hours left. I am noticing I'm getting a lot of offers that I'm able to send out to watchers. It does seem like I didn't get much listed today. I went to the gym. I'm at 14 miles for my 14 of my 50. So I think I've gone 4 out of the last 5 days. I think that's, so I did 3 out of the last 4. 4 out of the last 5, sorry. So anyways, I'm at 14 and I'm happy. And I even went for a walk that I'm not counting. So let's get into it. I'm going to show you guys what's sold. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on what's sold. I just want to kind of give you an idea of the types of things that are selling in an attempt to encourage people that have. And I'll tell you what, if I never hear the phrase high sell-through rate or pivot again in my life, wouldn't bother me in the least. Everything that I've sold has probably low sell-through rates. So let's get right into it. Last night, I sold this Pretender's pin. It's really tiny. And then I was able to upsell him 2 more. And this is a really cool pin too, because I grew up on MTV. I mean, I kind of wanted to keep it, but I don't really keep anything. That sold for 9, and then this Iggy Pop pin sold for 10. So 3 pins, $29 plus shipping, plus $4 shipping and handling. If you saw the massive amount of buttons that I got for like $50, $55, this pays for half of everything. So I'm okay with that. I knew this would sell when I bought it. A drunken clam trucker hat. I accepted an offer for $17. When I saw it, I just had to buy it. I'm just like, I probably paid $2 for it. And I'm guessing this was probably just a blank trucker hat that somebody put a patch on. Yeah, the hat inside says Spirit Halloween. So I don't know. I don't know if it came like that or not. So $17 plus shipping and handling. This is the 3rd of these Outlander season 6 DVDs. Season 6 DVDs that I've sold in the last, I want to say, month. This one sold for $18.50 plus shipping and handling. This is really cool. It's brand new. I got 45 out of it. It's a painting by Herb Kawainui Kane, and it's Pele, the goddess of Hawaiian volcanoes. Gorgeous print. Yeah, this sold for 45. I mean, when you see the stuff that sells, I just got a new offer that I am not accepting. This We Are Pizza Shakey's button. Now, this button, I actually was able to get a comp on it. If this was in better condition, this probably would have gone for north of 25. I ended up getting, how much did I get out of that? 15.5 plus shipping. It's got some damage on the side, some rust. I don't know why this particular pizza place people pay up for, but yeah, I mean, if people are able to find this, oh, and this one's even more obscure. Okay, so I had this listed as, it's a Trinidad and Tobago. It's just their flag. So I had it listed as Trinidad and Tobago flag, 1/2-inch pin, new. That's it. And someone was able to find that. This sold for 8.5 plus shipping. Okay, I got a story to tell you about. You know, we complain about buyers a lot, but I'm going to tell you an amazing story about an amazing buyer. I had sold a couple thrifting pins, maybe a week and a half ago. I'm pretty sure I showed you guys, and I had forgot that I had actually added to that listing, and I only shipped 2 of them. But the customer was so cool. Now they left in the feedback. They left that, you know, they ordered 3, but they only got 2. And those were the 2 that they wanted, and they were super happy with it. They left positive feedback. Obviously, I reached out and I'm like, hey, I'm going to send you the other one. It was totally my mistake. I appreciate you being super cool about it and recognizing that it was, you know, an accident. So I will go ahead and send this out to them. If I remember when they get it, I'll reach out to them maybe in a week and a half and ask them if they will revise it. But, you know, either way, I just thought that was super cool that they didn't. I mean, by rights, they could have just left the negative feedback. I mean, it was my mistake. I did not look at the listing. I did not realize that I had added to that listing. I guess this is also me reminding you guys when you are packaging your orders, make sure you're looking at your listings, making sure that you're sending everything that is in the listing. But I thought that was pretty awesome that they were cool like that. This is a Kiss comic. This is signed by the cover artist and the writer, and it comes with a COA. Man, this person, they just like kept like offering me a certain price. I kept countering. They did this a couple of times. We settled on $16.75, I think, is what this one sold for. Yeah, $16.75. I woke up this morning to this magazine selling. This is one of those magazines from the late 90s when everything was like polybagged. I mean, this takes me back. Like, things were polybagged. It comes with things. Surprisingly enough, this sold for $27 plus shipping and handling. I always buy these when I can, because it's not that they have a ton of value, but there's something about these kinds of magazines and the nostalgia of people my age. But yeah, and when they are actually polybagged, it does make them more valuable, because like it comes with like cards and I think a disc, CD-ROM. Yeah. And I believe that might be it. This Grandmother Moon by Zuzana, Budapest. This one sold for $11 plus shipping and handling. So I'm encouraged that now the things that I'm doing is I lowered my price. I mean, I can't even say that I'm going, I mean, I intend on going back and trying to correct my listings, I guess you could say. I would say I am probably one of the worst when it comes to item specifics, entering them in. I've always been horrible at it. And obviously I'm going to have some stuff, some things to fix as we move forward. But what I'm doing now is I'm running an aggressive sale. The things that I am listing, I'm trying to be very good with item specifics, but a lot of the things also that I do sell are vintage collectibles that don't actually require or have that many item specifics. The good thing is that people who buy comics are pretty good at searching things out, I think. And I did so I'm doing a markdown sale, and I added a volume sale tonight. I've never even considered it. eBay recommended it, and I thought, you know what? I do want to try to encourage people to buy multiple items. Saves me from having to. I would rather pack 3 items in one than 3 single packages. So let's see how that goes. I've never done it before, so I did it for both stores, and I'm gonna do it for a week. Not super like crazy aggressive sale prices. I think I did like buy 2, you get like an extra 5% off. I think buy 3, I think it was 7, and I think if you buy 4, then you get an extra 10% off. I'm in. Let's move some stuff. Let's keep my head above water during this time. It's survival mode time. Yeah, I'm just trying. I haven't been sourcing. I did go out today and bought a few things, but most of what I bought today is for local stuff. I think everything but one that I bought was I think I bought a book that I'm gonna list on eBay. It would just do way better then. But yeah, let me know how your guys' sales are going, and if they're really bad, let me know. If I haven't already asked you what size of store that you have, and let's try to look for some commonalities of things that are causing stores to or just sales to just be slow. I don't know. Like I said, I'm just trying to get through this. I almost forgot that IKEA shelf that I did sell. It's not like it's a bolo or anything, but it is something to keep an eye out for. It is the IKEA Lustig. I'll spell it Lustigt wall shelf, and then Maria Vinka, Vinka. If you type those things in eBay, you'll see it. Now, here's the thing: is I ended up getting 2 shelves already put together, but they were missing the little ladders. So they come with these little ladders that kind of connect the shelves together. So if you wanted to put action figures on them, you can kind of create a little scene. They sell for $10 at IKEA. But and in the local IKEA here, it'll say what does it say? It doesn't say it. Sometimes it'll say in stock, or it'll say expecting soon. But even when they say in stock, they never have them. And even when they say expecting soon, they're never coming. And so, like, I had sold one locally for $35, and I sold this one for $25 because I had it for a while, and trying to clean space. And brand new, these things sell on eBay anywhere from $30 to $50. And and the more you have, so if you're able to get a couple of them, a buyer is more likely to buy them, because the shipping and handling, it'll be a little bit more, but it's not going to be incrementally more. It's not going to be times 2 of what it's going to cost. So if you have 3, I've seen 3 or 4 sell for like 90 to 120, I think is what I was seeing. Well, the 4 here sold for 100, but it's really all over the price. But if you get them cheap enough, definitely something to keep an eye out for. Even some retail arbitrage, to be honest with you, if you have an IKEA near you and you can find them. I mean, some people are happy with that kind of profit. Now, the shipping and handling, it's not going to be cheap because they're going to be heavy. They're going to be like, it's almost like as thick as a brick. But yeah. So anyhow, keep an eye out for that. I think think that was all I had to say right now. All right, guys, have a good Saturday night. For those of you who have asked, still no baby yet. The due date was Thursday our time. Friday, it was Friday in their time. They're a day ahead in Australia. So this is what, Sunday. So yeah, they're 2 days past, and I still don't know the name of the baby. She won't tell us until the baby comes. So not a grandpa yet, but soon to be. All right, guys, take care. All right, I'm not done talking. I wanted to explain something. The logic behind me wanting to try out the volume discount sale feature is, I know myself that if I see something that I want to buy and I can get a discount, I might be more inclined to shop around the store. And that's ultimately what we want, is we want customers to come into our stores and to shop and to poke around. We want them to find something that they didn't know that they wanted until they see it, and then they have to have it. So on top of the previous reason where, it's less packaging if I can get a buyer to buy more, that's my whole point in upselling people. And then of course, just trying to, and I know my sales aren't like my sales aren't amazing, but I'm not getting excited. I am not getting excited over a couple days of sales, because I had a couple of great 4 or 5 days of sales, I believe, last weekend and into the week, and then it was like midweek was a disaster. So I'm not getting excited, but I'm encouraged. I think the thing that really got me kind of scared and kind of up at night was when I felt that buyers were just not seeing my listings. They were just shut off. They were just, in their own little black hole void. And I'm encouraged that that's not the case. And, I'm not going to speculate on anything right now. But yeah. And then another thing that I wanted to talk about was title structure. That's another thing that I'm trying to do. Like, it's going to be too much of a mammoth job for me to go in and adjust all my listings and item specifics and this and that. I'm going to do it from time to time, and, we'll see what happens. I'm focusing on the things that I'm listing now. My hope is that I, just as my listings in general improve and it brings more buyers to my store, they shop around and they buy some of those old listings that are maybe not the best listings in terms of like item specifics and title structure, and then they just buy those, but we'll see what happens. I'm definitely not jumping the gun and deleting my entire store, like Kevin did, not Commonwealth Picker. He did a video today. I'm not ready to make any kind of drastic decision on that. But one thing I want to share with you, how I'm trying to shift my thinking with my title structures. I don't know if this works. I feel that through my experience of trying to research things and then try my hand at not creating the title in the way that I'm doing it. I'm going to show you how I'm doing it. And then when I go back a day or two later and I try to find it, it seems like it shows up. So, for example, I'm not going to read this, but what I would have done in the past is I would have typed all that out, and then I would have put button, and then I would have, because I figured maybe there's somebody out there that has this button, this exact button, and they're going to type all this in. I mean, number one, I don't even think we can use that word in a title. But here's how I'm shifting my perspective when it comes to, so here's how I listed this. sarcasm, joke, humor, satire, vintage button. Pin back pin, sarcastic, insult. And then I put the year, because it is 1982. And then it also has Sky, Sky ENT on here, Sky Entertainment. So I try to start broad. Sarcasm, joke, humor, vintage. And then I start to narrow it down, vintage. And then I put button, pin, back, pin. In the past, I would only ever put, say, button. But because we're trying to catch what buyers are searching, I have found that helps. And I'd always seen people do it. Maybe I'm just dumb for not doing it as well. But and then I add a few more things. So I try to start broad and then narrow and then reinforce. So an example would be, and I don't do clothes, but like the reinforce aspect would be like pants, jeans. Like use different synonyms for what it is. Like start with the brand and what it is, and then give a little bit more. Narrow your description down, and then find a way to reinforce the keywords to give yourself the best shot to have your item found organically. So, all right. Hey everybody, it is late Sunday night. I'm going to wrap this video up. I'm going to show you what sold between Saturday night and now. I've had 9 orders, 2 on my wife's store, 1 on Hip, 1 local, and 5 on my store. I'm going to talk about the error that I made about the volume sale that I thought I ran, but I didn't. I'm gonna share an insight that I had from an offer that I got that caused me to do a price check on something and got me thinking about something else. We're gonna read a few comments and then we're gonna wrap this up. Call it a night. Call it a weekend. My team's 0-3, so nothing to celebrate there. My football team. Anyhow, late last night, this order came through. They haven't paid yet. Just a lot of like little stamps. They sold for $13. That was including shipping. This is one of those orders that kept coming up where I kept having to send offers out. I kept having the availability. It's 3 little IKEA kind of like metal shelves. I mean, they're called Ekby Lerberg. That's the Swedish name of it. These 3 sold for $56. So if you get these cheap enough at a sale or wherever you shop for IKEA stuff, they can sell pretty good. Now, I want to talk about, obviously we're all accepting lower offers on things these days. I mean, I am. I guess I can't speak for everyone, but, you know, obviously we got bills to pay, and, you know, I've got a big comic convention coming up next month, and I want to have some money set aside to be able to go there, and because, you know, it takes money to make money, right? And as long as you're making money on the purchases that you're selling, you know, we got to do what we got to do right now. I feel like the buyers on the platform, they know, or they're slowly realizing that now is the time to strike, that the great equalizer is in play. You know, when it was a seller's market during COVID, now it's a buyer's market. We're just going to have to deal with it for a little bit. Hopefully this isn't like the new norm. You know, I often joke that to myself, about whatnot, it just seems like so much work, and it seems like you don't get the prices there that you get on eBay. But it's starting to be like we're not getting the prices on eBay that we were getting the prices on eBay for. So and for me, that was always the draw for eBay, is to sell the things that you can't sell locally, because you can get that premium on eBay, right? So tonight I had an offer for a comic book. It was a Spawn, Spawn. It's one of the longest running comic series that's been going on right now. It's by a guy his name's Todd McFarlane, and for the longest time, these comics were a bit of a, I don't want to say like a hidden secret. I mean, this was probably like 3 or 4 or 5 years ago. There was a certain span of cost during the Spawn run, from issues like 120 to like 190 or maybe almost 200, where if you could find those, you could get a massive premium for those on eBay. And this went on for a while, and then a lot of other comic people found out, and so more books got put up, and the prices came down a little bit, but then they stabilized, and then I think COVID happened, but anyhow, my point is, I got an offer for a Spawn book today, and I was in my car, and I looked at, and I was like, no, I'm not going to accept that. Like, there's no way I'm going to accept that. So the book was like $29, and I knew that it was on sale, 25% off. I'm going somewhere with this. He offered 18. So it caused me to go comp it out and look, just to kind of see where the market was at, because in my mind, I actually thought the book was underpriced at 29. So I went and I looked, and I was like, wow. I'm like, this is not as expensive of a book now that it used to be. So I countered at 23.5, which was, so in my mind, I thought it was like a $34, $35 book, and I thought it was just undervalued because of the sale that I had on. That was my thinking. So I'm like, okay, I want a sale, and I want to give the guy a deal. So I'm like, all right, I'll go 23.5. I'm like, that's kind of like almost not quite meeting him in the middle. He counters at 19. And I'm like, okay, so I got one of these guys. So I counter back at 23.5. I'm like, look, I don't think you're going to find a better deal. This is my low. That was my low. That was as low as I was going to go. And I was okay if he declined. He counters at 18. That's my cue to block them. Like when buyers play games like that, when I'm giving you a perceived deal. Okay, now my point is, maybe the economy is playing into this a little more than I was weighing. So I ask of you, everybody has specialties and things that they sell that they know that this is kind of like what the value is. Go look at those things. See if the prices are the same, and drop me a line in the comments below, so we can kind of gauge from a wide spectrum of sellers. Have prices drop that dramatically in terms of supply and then demand, right? Like whatever the comps are now are kind of like price is relative. Price is always going to just be whatever somebody's willing to pay. And so, just check it out. It's just, I was a little shocked, to be honest with you. Now, I'm not excusing everything that's gone on with the platform. Like, the platform has real problems. Not everybody just wakes up one day and stops buying. But I know that my sales, so the IKEA thing, those IKEA shelves, that was an offer that I sent out. The stamps was just a purchase. Let's just look at some of these. Venom, $20. This was an offer that I had sent out. Orbit, this is a beautiful Dave Stevens cover. He's a very sought after cover artist. This sold for $9. It's got a little bit of damage. It's not perfect. This was an offer that I had sent out. This Wonder Woman book, and man, there are some beautiful. This isn't one of them, but there are some beautiful, gorgeous early Wonder Woman. Some very weird ones as well. So this one sold for $26. This is a really high grade copy, and this one was an offer that I had sent. He countered very reasonably. It was literally like only $1.50. Like, he was literally just rounding down. I mean, the rationale that some buyers have is almost comical to me, right? Like when your shipping is, say, $4.50, and they come in at an offer to try to make it like an even 30, even though it's like digital currency. It's not like you're handing somebody, $30 and getting, want change back. This was from Hip. This is just a comic, tarot, Witch of the Black Rose. This is just a book that it's for mature audiences. That sold for $14. You can't sell that on eBay. Okay, there's a couple that I've already packaged up. Sometimes I just get in a flow and I don't. I was trying, like, the next two, I got caught up into trying to make sure that it was under a pound, and then I just ended up packaging it. So I had bought a Dremel, like it was a thing for like dogs' toenails. It like files them down. Paid a couple bucks for it. I can't remember if it was $2. I can't remember if it was $1.50 or it was $3, but it was really cheap. So turns out that the actual machine didn't work. So I just sold the charger. I put the charger, the accessories, and the manual. Sold that for $22. That's an alarm I have. That one sold for $20. So just the charger alone, I nearly 8 times my money on that one. I think that was an offer that I sent out. And that was very, I just listed that one a couple days ago. So it's encouraging that new items that are being listed are being seen as well. Let's see here. And then I sold a bar tap, like a wooden, what is it called? Yeah, wooden beer tap, for $15 plus shipping. All my stuff has shipping, by the way. And even if, like, when even with the stamps, when I said, it was $13, that's including shipping. So it was $9 plus, or it was like $10 or so plus shipping or whatever. And then let's see, what was the other thing? Orbit, stamps. Okay. Yeah, almost everything is selling. It's very rare to just get an order, right? It's like they want deals, they want bargains, and that's just the climate that we're in. Let me know if you guys if that's how your sales are kind of trickling down, or if you're just getting people buying. Yeah. So the thing about the sale was the volume sale. I thought I had set it up, but then I looked at it today and it didn't have any items included in the sale. So I was like, I had a hunch after looking at the sale. I thought, well, maybe you can't run a markdown sale and a volume sale at the same time. That's exactly the case. I called into eBay, spoke to them, and I haven't stopped the markdown sale yet. I think what I might do is I may run the majority of my stuff on markdown sale and maybe leave a couple different categories and then try that on the volume one. I'm kind of nervous about just changing everything up completely right now and trying a completely different sale, because I am getting sales right now, and I mean, let's face it, every sale is kind of important right now. It at least for our own mindsets, right? Like, I don't know about you, but when I go too long without a sale, I'm just like, I don't like this, right? But I also don't want to be desperate though for sales. That's the flip side of it, right? Like, I want to create sales so I can be choosy on certain items that I know, like, somebody's just trying to like pull one over on me, right? So yeah, so I'm gonna wait a little bit longer. Hopefully, I want to establish, I want to, like a consistent daily amount of sales, and then maybe make a little bit of changes. So I'm gonna hold off on there. My beard is itching, making my nose itchy right now. I told Maria, I go, I'm not gonna shave until you come back. It's like some people, they do playoff beards for when their teams are in the playoffs. I'm not gonna do that, but it would be funny though. Okay, so Glitter and Sudsmear said, I'm wondering what eBay's losses third quarter will be versus their tax liability. Are they just another company with massive profits looking to dodge their higher tax bill this year by making chaos? I'm talking about X here. This is how the wealthy avoid taxes. They lay off and usually pick third quarter to bury losses to satisfy their shareholders. Fourth quarter year-end profits. Maybe it's on purpose. I don't think so. I don't know so. I don't know if anybody else wants to chime in on this particular theory. I don't know. I am going to be curious. I believe eBay Open is this week. I'm going to be curious to see if anybody there kind of, asks some difficult questions. I honestly just can't imagine that conference going off without a hitch and acting like everything is like honky-dory, but I don't know, stranger things have happened. This just made me laugh. eBay's new slogan should be, if it ain't broke, just give us a minute. eBay used to be a place where people listed their items and sold a few. eBay made money, the seller made money, so everyone was happy. And the great thing about eBay was that you could find just about anything for sale. But if eBay only wants to sell fast-selling items, then the eBay that will no longer be. And every seller would be trying to sell the same thing. That would mean more sellers leaving and more buyers leaving as well. It definitely would be a narrowed site. It would have less diversity. It definitely would not be the eBay that you and I know. And we don't know. Like, I'm not convinced that long tail items are not wanted on the site, because that's what I sell, and I'm starting to gain some traction. But it's like, it's so hard to really feel any confidence, because it's like, you have a few days of good sales and then not so good sales. I got one more sale I wanted to talk to you about. This is a book, Tiffany. It's not Tiffany. It's not like the Tiffany I don't think it's the Tiffany that you might think of. I think it's just Tiffany lamps, the Tiffany like style of lamps. It's like a coffee table book almost. I have had this listed on eBay for years. I mean, years. I mean, that's the problem with big stores, right? But I also had it listed locally, and I've had people interested in it before, and then nothing ever happened. And somebody contacted me today. His name is Jeff as well. He lives on the island, and he's interested in it. And I was able to get more. Normally, I sell on different platforms, and I play with pricing, and you got to lower them, and you can't keep track of what all the prices were. Let's just say this sold for a pretty good premium. So it was 25, and I think it was 15 on eBay. And yeah, so he's already sent me the money and for the shipping as well. So I mean, I don't know what that says when somebody locally can find this and it has been online for, you know, a couple years. It just must have been one of those listings that just was being, you know, or the listing was not that good. You know, like I said, I am extremely guilty of doing things too fast and getting in a flow and, you know, maybe neglecting some item specifics. But like I said, a lot of things that I sell don't have, you know, like if they're a vintage book, they don't require a ton of item specifics that you need to fill out. Just Kath, hey, great video as always, Jeff. It makes more sense about how eBay always favors the buyer when you think about it like that. Them being a precious commodity and us being well disposable. Well, it really does. Honestly, my mindset shifted a little bit after hearing some of those things. It also makes me feel like eBay should be, you know, using some of the promoted listings, advertising from us to be bringing in more buyers. I'm hoping that, you know, that is something that they do in the future. I'm hoping that they don't find more ways to take money from us. But what doesn't make sense is that they value each other. Why have they made eBay such an impossible place to shop? If people are searching and getting irrelevant results, they're not going to hang around. I agree. I've also heard from a couple different people that the buyer experience has not changed that much. So we look at things when we go to search things and we can't find them. And I am wondering if buyers are, if there are any just buyers out there, which I doubt that there are. I'm pretty sure everyone who watches this channel is probably a reseller on some level, although I do know of one because he left an amazing comment. And he's like, I'm not even a reseller and I like watching this channel. And I just thought that was an awesome comment. And if you're out there, thanks for tuning in. But yeah, I don't know. I know I started watching this video that Patricia sent me about search, and I'm only like 5 minutes in. I started it late last night and it like hurt my brain just watching it, but I am going to watch it because I do want to try to understand what eBay is thinking here. And I think the future of search, the future is already here. It's in the form of like, you know, Netflix and YouTube, and it's an engine that recommends what they think you're going to want to either watch or view or buy. And that's all fine and well, as long as buyers are still able to search for what they want. Like, I don't know about you, but I don't like to be told what to do. I don't like to be told what to do. I don't like to be told what to buy. I like to think for myself, and I like to buy what I want to buy, do what I want to do. And, you know, I have no problem with a search engine that recommends things, but let's give the buyer some freedom also I'm hoping, some freedom to be able to go and search and locate things on their own. With that being said, I'm going to tell you one little story about how I shot myself in the foot today. Not really shot myself in the foot. I missed out on a $75 sale today because I was watching the football game, and somebody had messaged me on Facebook Marketplace, and they wanted to buy a Guitar Hero guitar. I don't know. For some reason, I didn't get a notification. Maybe an hour or two went by, and I saw it, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And I messaged him, and he's like, "Sorry." He's like, "I've already bought one," and I was like, "Oh." He's like, "Yeah, it was like a Guitar Hero emergency." I was like, Not a problem, not a problem. So I sent him, my links. And yeah, I guess the moral of this story is to, always be on top of all your messages, because, that would have been a nice addition to my sale today. That would have actually got me closer to what my target is for all the day. I have an offer on something right now. Let me go find this. I am back. That took way too long to find this. It was exactly where it should be ish, but you know how it goes, right? You have a spot for something, and then there's overflow, and then that overflow goes somewhere, and then that gets full, and then you have like a second overflow. So I don't exactly know what this is. It's Poe's Guidebook, Gods and Deities in Popular Chinese Worship. This accepted an offer for 8. That was just a straight up offer. I didn't send, I mean, an offer to me, but I didn't send out an offer to get him to counter. Kind of cool. It's going to somebody in Georgia. Would not have expected somebody in Georgia to be interested in Chinese culture, but hey, everyone has interests. Yeah, I this is just some ephemeral lot that I had purchased. Yeah, $8. All right, guys. With that being said, I hope your guys' eBay sales or all your other sales, like I sold on eBay, both the stores. My wife's store is severely underperforming right now. I don't really know why. I'm not really doing anything different. But, I sold one on Hip, one local. Peace and blessings to you guys. Let me know how your sales are going. And happy late Sunday, early Monday morning to you guys. We will talk to you soon. You guys think you have it bad with thrifting. Look at this Ratty Vans crop top, $16. Huggies, $9. Worthless little plush for $6. Some game that you'd be lucky if all the parts were in there for $7. And some unknown piece of crap toy, $5. It's ridiculous.